guys. Welcome to a new KSR Happy Hour Halloween edition. We are here a day late because yesterday Kentucky played a basketball game that unfortunately we're going to have to talk about. But first, we want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Country Boy Brewing. It is the perfect weekend for some Country Boy. I don't know if you all have yours out. I do.
Mine's dressing up for Halloween. It's invisible today.
It's got its invisibility cloak on. Very nice.
Delicious, though.
Understood.
Always delicious.
Well, we'll get to more of that in a second. I'm Tyler Thompson. I'm joined by Jacob Polacek and Jack Pilgrim. And soon, there we go. I get the pointing correct. Drew Franklin will be down there. He is en route. He was on a KSR radio show remote this morning in Frankfurt, so he'll be a little late to join us. But happy Halloween, guys. Are we really excited about this very exciting holiday?
Oh, yeah.
Some of us are dressed for it.
A little bit. Yeah, we're excited. We're very excited. It's, when the kids are starting to grasp what, like, spooky means and like, ooh, look, it's a skeleton. Look, it's a jack-o'-lantern. It adds, like, a new level of magic to it. So Billy is very excited to be Buzz Lightyear tonight, and Miles has no idea what Woody means or what, but he's going to look great in his little Woody costume.
Miles is just along for the show. Miles is what, 4 months old now?
Three,
right?
three and change.
Yeah, gotcha. Well, I'm excited to see your all's pictures. Jacob, what are you dressing up for Halloween?
I am reusing my costume from the last 4 years. I am going as Jack Daniels, but now I have a girlfriend who's going to go as Coke, so we can go Jack and Coke.
Oh, that's pretty cute.
You're dressing up as me.
Hey.
Yeah, I love a good couple.
I got excited when Jack said Jack-o'-lantern because his name's Jack. So.
Wow.
I bet you never heard that joke before, Jack.
Never. No, never.
Well, I have a witch's hat on, but it is the cheapest witch's hat probably in the entire world, and it is literally not staying on my head. So I made it through the intro, and that's about as much as I can do of that. It looks like we got people hopping in the chat already. Aether, you've already given us a super chat, so I feel like there's a story behind this. So let's go ahead and pop that up there, Stephen, if you don't mind. It says, Jack, I love you, but you crazy. I will explain. What is Aether here to explain, Jack?
I think that's the mystery of it all. We don't know. We never know, really. But Aether is always just, number one supporter of all of our KSR YouTube shows. He pops in and out of all of them. Sometimes he yells at us. Sometimes he says that he loves us. And he's just a mysterious man, but a man we love nevertheless.
Well, we appreciate you, Aether. And there was a lot of yelling going on last night at TVs across the Bluegrass. I don't really want to talk about Kentucky's loss to Georgetown, but I feel like we kind of have to. So, let's just kind of go back. A week ago, we were getting ready for the Purdue exhibition. Felt like a fairy tale night at Rupp Arena. Kentucky knocked off the Boilermakers by like 13 points. It was magical. I was there. We were all on cloud nine. We were all getting ready to print up the 40-0 shirts. Come into Thursday, we do our KSR staff predictions. I remember Zach's not here, but I remember he was the only person who picked Kentucky to beat Georgetown by double or single digits. And I remember we all made fun of him. Like, I was like, oh, what is he? He thinks this is going to be close, blah, blah, blah. Well, not only was he right in that it was, not the outcome we expected, but it ended up being the reverse of what we expected. Georgetown won by 14. And honestly, it didn't even really feel that close. I mean, it kind of did feel like the Purdue game, just opposite. I mean, what happened? Like, Jack, you're the expert. You tell us what happened last night.
I don't know, man. It was I go back and forth between the the exhibitions don't matter. It's a learning opportunity. The alternative is you play Georgetown College and beat them by 782 points. So I would rather know a little bit more about my team against legitimate competition, against name brand, coaching and all of that than, kind of the alternative of having no idea what to expect. I think I've come to appreciate the value of these events after two of them more than factoring in the win or loss. I don't think that they were totally prepared. I think Ed Cooley was put up an excellent game plan. They kind of ran the Ohio State, drew up the same kind of blueprint that they did last year at Madison Square Garden. Same exact, just, hey, let's foul them every single possession, and the refs can't call it every single time. So let's beat them up and kind of enforce our will and impose our will and see what happens. And I think Kentucky just really did not respond well to that at all. The game plan on Kentucky's side, I don't think, was very good. And, Pope said some kind of nitpicky things that I thought was really strange. Said that, he kind of cherry picked the scout and didn't push all of his chips in on a Georgetown scout specifically, but made it more Kentucky oriented. And it kind of dug into his Rick Pitino toolbox a little bit, so I wonder how much of that was kind of gamesmanship on his part as well. So, humble his team a little bit after being on cloud nine. So I think it's a little bit of everything, but overall, a really crappy night for us at Rupp Arena.
Yeah, well, welcome to the show, Drew. You may want to open up your country boy because we're talking about that disappointing loss to Georgetown last night. Although you had Whiskey Thief this morning, so maybe you're prepped and ready.
I got my
There you go. So Jacob, you were there too. I know that the Kentucky's loss to Georgetown was one of the three things you did not want to talk about on today's show, but I feel like we have to at least mention it. Obviously, Kentucky was without Jalen Lowe, and they were without Denzel Aberdeen. I feel like the problems were much bigger than just point guard play, but how would you evaluate Colin Chandler as Kentucky's point guard last night?
Yeah, it was. I don't want to single out Colin Chandler as much as I just want to say the guard play was lacking for sure. I think that defensively it was just hard to watch, where Georgetown was basically their guards were getting to the rim at will. Kentucky built this roster with an emphasis on physicality, and it didn't look like Kentucky had the physicality last night. It just looked so easy for Georgetown's guards to just blow by these defenders and get to the rim. And that was really my biggest takeaway. But yeah, I know I said I wouldn't be talking about a few things today. I didn't want to discuss Kentucky basketball, Kentucky football, or Halloween. So
what does that leave us?
Yeah, we can.
LG&E and KU, baby.
Speaking of, yeah. While we're at it, let's give a shout out to our new sponsor, LG&E KU. They know that when the lights go out, it can feel like, I got to scroll over here, a full court press. But staying in the know is an easy win. Update your phone number in the LG&E and KU mobile app or in my account. If the power goes out, you'll get play-by-play text from 454-358 with outage updates, safety information, and time estimates for your power restoration. If you can't text, no problem. We'll call your landline on your account with the same updates so you're never left in the dark. Because in the dark, there is no defense. With LG&E and KU, you've always got a team working to get the lights back on and let you know the game plan. Update your number today at lg-ku.com/outages. That is a lot, but we love them, and they're one of our new sponsors here on the KSR Happy Hour. Does anyone in this group know anyone who still has a landline phone?
I don't.
I don't, but I feel a connection to KU. I paid my KU bill this morning, so shout out KU. Thanks for keeping my lights on here with my electricity. But no landline. No mom, get off the phone for me. I miss those days.
Glad to hear everyone shouting out KU today. It's great to hear.
What's a landline?
No. Not your KU. Kentucky Utilities, Jacob, not Kansas University.
Yeah, I guess Jack and Jacob, do you all even remember landline? Surely, right?
Landline. I'm confused. No, we had one. I don't think we ever had a corded landline, but we had the home phone, and I used to feel so cool, coming up from school and taking the home phone up to my room and calling, and then having my mom to be like, "All right, you've been on the phone for an hour and a half. Now it's time for us to I have to call my parents. I have to call take care of all the other stuff." But I do miss those days.
847-0465. That's my landline. It's not.
Somebody's about to get a call from it. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Say your last four digits again. I feel like you just said my last four digits.
0465.
Oh, I'm 0415.
Oh.
That's close enough. 821-0415. If you want to call my childhood home in Madisonville, there it is. I
Drew, I
miss
feel like-
being on the phone with my high school girlfriend, and we would be like, I feel like someone else is listening. It's like I had a little sister. I'd have to go into her room because you could just pick up and just eavesdrop, you know. So there were many times you'd have to call to talk to your high school girlfriend. Her mom would answer. It'd be like, may I speak to, I'm not going to say her name. May I speak to so-and-so? She'd get on the line. We'd have a short window, like Jack said, because mom would need to call people. And you always have to wonder if someone was listening in from another phone in the house. Good times.
Were you guys the walk up on like the couch and stand up on things, like as you're getting deeper and deeper in those like middle school relationship phone calls, you're just kind of, you know, pacing throughout everywhere, and you find yourself like, why am I standing up on like the ledge of the couch? That was me. I was a big home phone, find myself walking in random places of the house.
I think those conversations with like my middle school boyfriends were like the longest phone conversations I ever had in my entire life, because somehow you could spend like forever on the phone talking to somebody. Nowadays, I hate talking to people on the phone. I absolutely hate it. But back then, I mean, it was the cool thing to do. My sister had her own phone line. I mean, you knew she was fancy. She had a private phone line. And so her bedroom was next to mine. And I had to sit there and listen to her on the phone with her boyfriends all the time. And it's kind of funny. So this is getting way off topic, but that's what we do. My family had a parrot growing up. My parents bought my older brother a parrot, a blue and gold macaw, when he was 10 years old, because that seemed like a great present. Even though if you know anything about blue and gold macaws or parrots, they live to be like 80 years old. And they kind of require a lot. Like you have not training or anything like that, but they need companionship. And, you know, sure enough, as my brother got older, he didn't really care about it. So we just had this giant parrot, and he would start to like mimic things that we would say. And so the phone would always be for my sister. So we would yell down Lori, that's her name. And so the parrot just started yelling Lori all the time. Like whenever the phone rang, he would just scream Lori over and over and over again. So shout out to Repeat. He actually does now live with my brother and has a happy life.
Repeat.
But, yeah, his name
Great name.
but yeah, so every time I hear about phones, I think of a parrot yelling Lori. So shout out to Lori, shout out to Repeat. Do we need to get back on topic?
No, it's Halloween. Nobody cares.
I'll add more to the I'll add more to the landline thing. I like going back in time.
Yeah, this is great.
One thing that held me back. Let's be honest. You all see this. There wasn't a long line of people waiting to date this in middle school. But I will say, to the point of you would have to call, a parent would normally answer, and you'd have to be like, may I speak to Tyler? May I speak to Jacob? There was like a parent buffer before you could even speak to this person. And my mom, on the off chance a girl would call, she would form an opinion based on manners real quick. My big high school girlfriend, like the one, my first love, I remember the first time she called. I'm not saying she was rude, but she didn't pass the mom test. And we dated for like 3 years, and it's year 3. And my mom's like, well, that time she called to ask for you, I didn't like her tone. So it was weird having to go through a parent just to even speak to someone back then, when now you got your Snapchats and God knows what else. And I'm just now realizing in the moment, we've never sounded older than we are right now.
We would really sound old if we had like the rotary phone, or you had to like turn the dial to, yeah. Anyways, that fun times with phones in middle school. You know, kids today will never know. It doesn't seem like our phone conversation is picking up any traction in the chat. It seems like
the viewers are going up though. The viewers are going up though.
Let's
So
talk about something even more exciting: Kentucky football.
Oh, well, we still have some basketball stuff to talk about. Probably. Athir gave us another super chat because he's just dying to talk about this. His super chat, if we can put it up, Steven says, Jack, this team is not losing 4 games. No way. With Coach Pope, we're going 30-1 and 17-1 in SEC play. He expects them to play on Monday for the national title.
Well, why are you so pessimistic? One loss? Who's the loss?
Are you counting this loss?
I love the optimism. I could just keep going back and forth where, like, yes, I know it was a super deflating loss, and it's hard to kind of find the middle ground after being so high after the last Friday and then just being so low yesterday. Finding that middle ground is very difficult. But like, I do think that we need to recognize how much Kentucky was missing and how much, like, when you're down 2 primary ball handlers and watch the offense be as clunky as it is and take the just the air out of the building, like, the will to survive, if you will, on the floor just kind of goes away knowing that it's an exhibition game. Like, I do wonder if it had been a regulation matchup, the plays that Mo Diabate was making down the stretch, I feel like everybody would have. I think Mo is the only one that was really like, hey, I'm still here to win, and everybody else is like, I'm playing for next Tuesday, or seeing you next Tuesday, as Drew would say. So yeah,
hey, we're not. That's not a thing.
So yeah, I lean more on the Ether side, that I am still extremely optimistic. There's a slight hiccup, but I'm still very, very optimistic about this team.
It is a weird spot today because we are allowed to be disappointed in last night, and we should be disappointed. But that's not the team we're going to be cheering for this season.
No.
Like, they were giving up. Those Georgetown guards wanted whatever they want, and that needs to be talked about. Colin Chandler, Jasper Johnson, none of those guys could defend or stop the ball. But we're not going to be watching those guys having to do that, hopefully. Now, if other guys are hurt, that's a whole other issue. But the basketball team that lost to Georgetown last night is not the one we're all going to be cheering for in the very near future. And that's my big takeaway, what I'm trying to remember. We should be critical of what last night was. A lot of guys need to be better. There's a lot of guys that look like they might not be quite ready. But that wasn't the Kentucky basketball team that Mark Pope has for this season.
Yeah, I mean, I get it as Kentucky fans after the last couple of seasons, you can get really nervous about injuries. I mean, it felt like last year Kentucky was never fully healthy. But I do think it's also important to remember that Jalen Lowe should be back in the next week. Hopefully, it'd be great to see him in at least one of the games next week. It doesn't sound like Denzel Aberdeen's injury is that serious. I mean, Pope said that he didn't play him as a precautionary measure. He expects both of them back in the next week or two. Obviously, the latter part of that timeline's a little scary if you're very nervous about the Louisville game. I think if you at least have one of them, you're going to look much more like the team that played Purdue and not the team that played Georgetown. Jack, are you hearing anything specific about Aberdeen or just a leg issue?
Yeah, I think he could have played if it were a regulation game. And I think it kind of goes back to my original point with, like, the gamesmanship, all right, let's test our guys. Like, he's, Denzel's hurt, could play, but let's see what happens. We know who Denzel is. He just won a national championship. Like, we're good on that. What can the other guys? Can Colin step up? Can Jasper? They did not, unfortunately, but it was. I think it was a little bit of it. Was Pope just kind of wanting to test his guys and see what he had in them, and they unfortunately failed that test.
So we got some good stuff from the chat. McDouble with Pickles says, I think some fans are just so desperate to get back to that taste of major success. It's been so long. I agree with that, and it felt like we had it versus Purdue, but again, I think last night just showed that it was an exhibition, and you can't read too much into results. Yeah, so Apostle Paul 62 says, it would have sucked if any of our starters got hurt in last night's game. I think Pope didn't play them for that reason. I had a moment where Mo Diabate, who doesn't know how to do half speed anything, went after a ball, and it looked like he got hurt. And I was just like, we were down 15 points at that point. I was like, if he gets hurt, just trying to make a play in the last 8 minutes of this game, I'm going to be so mad. Thankfully, he's fine. If there is anything good to pull from last night, it's that he doesn't care if Kentucky's down 16 points in an exhibition to Georgetown. He's going to play his heart out. I was reading his comments from after the game, and we know that he hates to lose, but he had some great perspective on it. He's like, we needed this wake up call, we needed to be exposed, et cetera, et cetera. So the Mo Diabate hype continues to grow. I know, Jacob, he's your favorite player too, right? You kept saying it over and over on KS Board.
I've claimed that Mo Diabate is my favorite player on this team. I think he does a lot for this team. And, obviously it wasn't the greatest game for basically anyone on Kentucky's roster last night, but I think what he provides is something that not many players can provide with his versatility on both sides of the ball.
Is that a repeat in the background over there somewhere?
Tyler,
Brittany.
I don't know if it was the moment you were talking about, but there was a moment late in the game last night around the double-digit deficit. It was 12 or 14, and he did like a full extension dive. He was like perfectly planking in the air and hits the hardwood. And I thought, I love that. We might not need it right now with 4 minutes left in the game. We're definitely going to lose, but it said a lot about him that he would even do that. And that's what last year's team missed, was that attitude. I said this on the Rapid Reaction, and Josh Hopkins said it earlier this week. But for many years, even when Kentucky was rolling with good freshmen, we weren't a team that would win a fight in an alley. We either had youth that was still figuring out, or last year we just didn't have the personalities. We all remember we had a player that tried to kiss a guy in a fight in the Tennessee game. Mo Diabate is a guy, if you want to fight, he's ready to fight, and he ain't losing. I think Owe could maybe even fit that. We kind of have some of those dogs that the rest of the SEC had last year that we didn't have. Obviously, we stole him from one of those teams, and I can't wait to see what he'll be. 3-point shooting, not going to count on him for that.
Oh, my Lord.
Toughness, physicality. If you run into a team that throws an elbow and hits you in the mouth right away, that's a guy that's going to throw one right back.
Of the unexpected, as my werewolf is barking in the background, of the unexpected 3-pointers that we got last night, whose form was ugliest? Was it Mo Diabate, Malachi Marino, or Brandon Garrison? Because they all hit a 3, and it was like, oh my gosh.
Diabate's got the worst shot.
Malachi's just a slingshot. I mean, Malachi, it's
really
like he just brings it back, and it's, but it looks better than it has been. We got to work on free throws, though. Just in general, free throws were just horrific, but especially from Malachi at the line, he does so much very, very well, but man, we gotta get that, very PJ Washington-y. Malachi goes to the line, I'm like, well, here's 1 point coming on the scoreboard.
I think Malachi's not going to be teaching anyone how to shoot, but at least that's not getting blocked. Mo kind of has a here with a hitch. It takes a long time to get from here to here. I don't know that we're going to see him take a lot of threes unless he's wide open.
It almost reminds me of Michael K. Gilchrist. Go ahead, Jacob.
I would just say I don't know how much. I don't know how we'd be talking about Brandon Garrison if we hadn't seen him play last year. I think we're kind of almost numb to his 3-point shots at this point. Because now when they go up, I'm like, all right, if he's gonna do what he's gonna do. If it goes in, it goes in. I'm just kind of indifferent to Brandon Garrison 3-point attempts at this point. And another plane's go by.
Yeah, he has been.
Scenic view from Jacob today.
I know.
Where are you?
Yeah, I didn't know if y'all had addressed that. Sorry, I'm late.
Computer around. Show it off.
I'm outside my house. There's mice inside, so I wanted to do this from outside.
Let our listeners and viewers know what your situation is and why what that even means.
We're not sponsored by Orkin, are we?
No.
Okay. So
unless they're interested.
Yeah, well, they won't be after this. I've had a mice issue at my house for the last couple of weeks. I wasted a good 1 or 2 weeks dealing with Orkin, who, in the words of the actual guy I brought in to get this done, they didn't do anything. And then they tried to charge me $7,000 to deal with this mice issue. It's not going to cost $7,000, but my house is overrun with mice. So I'm back getting a few things done around the house and going back to Lexington very soon.
So you just camping right now? Is that the deal?
I'm just chilling outside. I got a nice backyard. I got this rocking chair that I'm going, and I might just be sleeping out here tonight.
As someone who's had to deal with mice recently, have you tried the old school mousetrap? And I ask that because when I had to deal with it, everyone's like, oh, we don't do those anymore. PETA calls. Use this thing where they get stuck in it and you can put peanut butter. So I tried that because I'm not in the business of killing mice. I want them to live, just not in my apartment. So I tried all the humane ways, sprays, sticky, tape, nothing was working. And I went old school. Everybody's like, that's not really the way we do it in 2022 or whatever year it was. And I was like, I don't care. I'm tired of these mice. First night I put one of those out, I'm in bed and I heard a loud go. There it was. I was like, I didn't love the visual I had, but I didn't have mice anymore after I put out that old school trap. That people knew what they were doing back before PETA.
I think you could argue that's almost more humane too than some of these glue traps, or the worst is like the poison. So they eat the poison and then they climb into the wall and they die in the wall. And then you have to deal with that smell. So, I mean, at least the trap is like hopefully instantaneous. It doesn't like catch him somewhere else. But
I can give you reviews on all of them because I've got this place loaded up.
You've tried the old school.
We tried the old school. I did catch a couple with those. The problem is we haven't really closed off the entry points yet. We're working on that. So it doesn't really matter how many I kill because they're just going to keep coming back.
Give me a ballpark. How many are we talking here?
You're like Jon Snow with the sword in Game of Thrones, just taking on the...
I don't think I can give you a number because for every 3 I kill, there's going to be 5 more coming back. So I will tell you that so far I've killed about 4 or 5 of them. I got one with like the regular old school trap. I had the glue traps just sitting on my counter. But what my guy Justin, who does an incredible job, I forget what company, the name of the company. So I'm not saying the name of the company, but
great
does an excellent job. He said, he said that they're smart enough that once they see one die from this one trap that's sitting on my counter, they're never even going close to that. So I think that it might be time for some more traps because the ones out, I think they've outsmarted.
Who knew? I mean, I love that this conversation's happening while scary stuff is on the topic board. It's just appropriate. And I also wish that you all could be in like the KSR group chat sometimes because Jacob's like, this has been about a month-long saga, it feels like. And I feel really bad for you because you seem terrified to go into your house.
Well, my mom is frightened of mice. I called to tell her just, hey, I'm having mice issues. The second she heard the word mice, she hung up the phone and said, call Dad.
Fair enough. They're going to come to you through the phone. Another scary situation could take place tomorrow in the Plains, or maybe it won't. I guess we'll talk about the Auburn football game. Drew, I listened to the radio show this morning, and I kind of feel like we're on the same wavelength. Like, my head is telling me Kentucky is not going to win, but there's like this tiny kernel. I don't even know if it's my heart or if it's just like, it feels like Kentucky's due to win a game like this. And I don't know if it's because, Stoops always wins when he's not supposed to, and it just feels like we're running out of options there. Or is it that Auburn's not very good either? They're kind of falling apart. They're playing their backup quarterback, supposedly. I mean, are we setting ourselves up for another disappointment, I guess is my question.
I'm prepared for a win. And I say that carefully because I don't want people to take this and say, well, KSR is still looking for sunshine, silver lining. No. We're not a good football team. Mark Stoops does not need to be the coach anymore. All of that is still true. But I think Auburn's just bad enough, and that bullying this offense just keeps progressing, that I'd be surprised if it's a blowout. I think we'll be in it. I'm going to pick Auburn to win when we do our predictions. But I think it's going to be a game. And I think Kentucky could even lead for some of the game, maybe in the fourth quarter. I think these are two bad football teams. Auburn has their own problems. And as Boley and this youth movement that Bush Hamden has gotten is getting better, they're meeting a defense that's not very good at stopping the pass. I just think as part of the experience as a Kentucky football fan, right now it's as bad as we've ever seen it in the fan base. I'm prepared for them to throw a curveball at all of us to potentially see a win, if not a close game. I just think it's a good matchup. Tennessee was never a good matchup. Texas was a good matchup. They both played out the way I expected. Auburn is more Texas than Tennessee, and I think Kentucky's going to be in it. And if they win it, it will really throw people for a loop. I don't think that should change circumstances in the big picture, but I am prepared for them to potentially do that tomorrow.
Well, we've got one person on the KSR panel who is actually picking Kentucky to beat Auburn, and that's Adam Luckett, who is currently en route to Auburn. And when I listen to Luckett when he talks football, and he thinks Kentucky has a pretty good shot. And also, if you watch the past 2 games, the offense has looked pretty good. I mean, Cutter Boley's putting it together. They're wide receivers making plays who we hadn't really heard of before. They're scoring, but it just feels like the defense is not holding up their part. So I guess it's can both sides put it together for one game, which they haven't really done all year? Or I'm a little worried if they lose this game, even if it's close, it's just going to be throw in the towel. Jack, I think you and I had similar predictions. I'm looking at our score graphic right now. And I know that you are very much on the side of Mark Stoops needs to go. Is any part of you worried that if Kentucky does win this game, then maybe Mitch Barnhart will rethink things and maybe Stoops will have an avenue towards another season?
Yeah, I hate that idea. That sounds horrible. Yeah. I'm not a fan. I think the mice got Jacob. I don't know
he took off. That's his heart.
Where he went. Yeah, if you were to give truth serum to both fan bases, like not just like because it's a bad look for a Kentucky fan to actively root for a loss, but if you were to actually give truth serum to Auburn fans who also want their head coach to leave, and Kentucky fans who want their head coach to leave, what they would actually want the result to be, I think would be really fascinating. It sucks. Like I am in a really, really tough spot because I want Kentucky to win everything. I mean, cheerleading championships, men's soccer, like I want across the board diehard. But I also like understand the greater good of like what it could mean and how the administration operates with little wins and how they view wins like this in the small, short term. So I am super conflicted. I don't know how I'm feeling going into this, but I'm not picking a win. I'm not feeling good about Kentucky's chances to actually win the game. But in terms of like my desired result tomorrow night, I'm very much between a rock and a hard place.
Jacob, you got brave and went inside.
I tried to teleport.
I thought the mice got you.
Yeah, no, if you guys see a mouse, let me know. But no, I'm inside now. I'm scared. So.
I liked Alan Kane in the comments said you should go as the Mousetrap movie guy or just the Mousetrap board game. That would be a funny costume. I don't know how you could put that together. But Drew, it looked like you were about to say something.
Well, I was just going to say, poor Stoops. He had a great run here. But the big knock was just couldn't do anything with quarterbacks. We thought Drew Barker was going to be the Kentucky guy. We had our Kentucky boy. Patrick Towles, he had a decent career, but it wasn't that like star power Kentucky boy. Nothing against Patrick Towles. I'm a fan. But it's like Stoops finally has Cutter Boley in a promising future. But it's like, dude, you've lost 11 in a row. Like, I mean, that's exciting, but it's already too bad for you to show off this shiny toy. If they had just not been terrible last year, you had back-to-back 7-win seasons before that, you could be like, all right, Mark, last year sucked. You got Boley. We're good. But it's just been so bad and so low that he finally gets the quarterback he can show off, and everyone's just like, sorry, man, a little too late. You let it slip too much.
And how much of this is Boley auditioning for, like in terms of other people watching Cutter play, auditioning for a pay raise in the portal? Like it's terrifying to me to watch a really, really, really good Kentucky quarterback dominate in losses, knowing that like, hey, there's a really good chance that some blue blood football program is going to offer him $4 million to come in and be their superstar quarterback. And I'm like,
stay away, Josh Heupel. Stay away.
Keeneland sales are going on in Lexington right now. If y'all have never seen how that works, big auditorium, they put this horse on a podium. I think it might even spin around. People are like, wow, look at that beautiful horse. I'm rich. I want that horse. No, I'm rich. I want that horse. Last week when I was with Steven in the press box, I felt like we were doing that with Cutter Boley. We're like, look at this beautiful horse we have. Set it up for bidding with NIL this spring because I just feel like his phone is going to ring off the hook. Maybe the same with Miller, maybe Rodriguez. We have all this flashy talent, and I worry that when we get to the spring, and those guys want to be here. I'm not saying they got a foot out, but if Lane Kiffin were to call Cutter Boley, that might be extreme. I'm just giving an example. I mean, these guys are going to get phone calls that are going to be hard to turn down, and I feel like right now, as our football team is not heading in a good direction. Last week against Tennessee, we're like, check out all these shiny toys. Y'all want to come buy these? I know we can't just store them away in a closet and hide them. I kind of wish we could for next year, but I do worry that they're going to be hot commodities in the transfer portal. And, Boley with the hometown or Lexington connection, I hope that carries some weight, but that dude's going to be a popular name when teams are looking for quarterbacks, whether we like it or not.
I think Westerber Robin has the right attitude. He's got a super chat if we want to put that up. Everything balances itself out. We lost the Georgetown game so we could win a football game. Wouldn't that be the craziest thing? Going into this weekend, I think we all would have predicted the Georgetown win and an Auburn loss. And what if the opposite happened? It would just be something. But what if none of us can actually watch it because YouTube TV and Disney are fighting? As of 3:37 Eastern time on Friday, the two sides, YouTube TV and Disney, are still fighting. Meaning that if you have YouTube TV, like 10 million people, you may not be able to watch any college football tomorrow on ESPN or the ESPN networks, including SEC Network, which kind of stinks. I thought they were going to come to a deal at the last minute because that's typically how this stuff happens. But last night that did not happen, and turned on my YouTube TV this morning. There was that little error message at the top. It was like, ooh, spooky. I don't know what that was. But it said all of your Disney channels, ABC, ESPN, ESPN2, etc., are gone for now. So hopefully it gets fixed by then. How many of us have YouTube TV? I know I do.
I steal it from Katie's parents, so
fair enough. Well, you rely on it, so I mean, do we think that a resolution is going to come before 7:30 tomorrow night for Kentucky Auburn?
This one feels different than the ones in the past because they're trying to pitch the bundle, the Hulu, Disney. Like ESPN actually has we don't need you. This has happened many times, and it usually happens at this point in the year in the past. But we always knew they'd find an agreement because people need the games. This is the one time where I feel like if ESPN wants to get greedy, they can stand their ground because they're really pitching this app, which is overpriced. I have it. It's $30 a month. I love the ESPN app. I cannot believe they're charging $30 a month for ESPN. That is not sustainable. But just looking to this weekend, I think they're going to try to get people to sign up for that.
Well, it's a good thing that there's going to be a live blog and a live KSR
yes.
board.
Nice plug.
KSR board.
Yeah, the ESPN app was, I think, $7.99, $8.99 when I first signed up. I got $9 because I'm on there all the time. I watch 30 for 30s when everything. I pull it up every day, but they're getting a little big for their britches with their pricing. But they don't seem like they're going to budge on this one, at least not maybe by tomorrow. It'll get fixed out long term, but this one feels a little different than in the past when they bicker.
I also don't like how they're using the conferences to, like, they're making them pick sides. I mean, so the SEC and ESPN have a $3 billion 10-year contract. And so as part of that, the SEC kind of has to do what Disney says. And so they put out this social media post today with, you won't be able to see all of these teams play if you have YouTube TV. Sign this petition to let YouTube TV know you want your networks back. And I'm like, I just don't like that it's become politicized like that. I mean, I know it's not traditional politics, but you're asking people to choose one streaming giant over another, Google or Disney. And I don't like it. I don't know. We'll find a way to watch it, but go ahead.
It feels like we're seeing a new streaming service raise their prices like every week at this point. It's almost like an arms race where they just keep going up in price. And like what Drew said, just doesn't feel sustainable at all.
They're all getting too greedy and it's not going to work. I actually just, with my wife, we sat down, we're like, we got to pick. Like we've had most of them for a while, but they're all getting so expensive. We can't do that anymore. Like $30 a month for ESPN. No, I have it this month, but I'm not going to do it much longer.
Yeah. And if you have YouTube TV and this dispute weren't happening, you'd be paying like basically how much overlap for the same thing. And also I don't want to have that moment where I sit down and I look at all my subscriptions because it's going to be depressing. Like, when was the last time anybody watched anything on Paramount Plus? And now I'm sitting here trying to remember Paramount Plus is not affiliated with Dexter Resurrection. All right. But what else? Like
nothing. I
mean, you could say that about almost any service. I mean, I think the ones we use are obviously YouTube TV, Netflix pretty regularly, HBO Max. I mean, I could go on and on and on, which is the point. It's I used to hate Comcast and cable because it got to be such an annoying thing to deal with, but I think it would be cheaper than what we're doing now.
Spectrum has an opportunity to do the funniest thing ever. Be like, hey, what if I took all of these, I numbered them, I might even put a channel that's like a TV guide where you can see what's there, and you just pay one flat fee and it's all there numbered.
It would be
You
crazy.
can use your landline to call and make that order happen.
What if we mailed you the internet on a CD?
Don't tell these children about that. They have no idea what you're talking about.
This isn't why we're here, but this for me, I would like to say this out loud. Tyler, you brought up HBO. Has HBO made anything new? It used to be Sunday nights, HBO, Game of Thrones, name it. It rotated. Now I pull up that app and I'm giving them money every month. I can't remember the last thing I watched on HBO that wasn't an old Sopranos episode
Is
or
it
anything.
passed on HBO?
It is, and I got halfway through an episode of that, so I guess that's my one. But prices are doing this, and content is doing this, and people are going to notice real quick. That's my rant on the current situation of our entertainment.
I watched the whole Dodgers Brewer series on HBO. They're doing live sports now.
You can watch that on HBO. Like,
Also,
God.
Welcome to Derry is excellent on HBO. It just dropped on Sunday. It's very, very spooky, very, very in the spirit of the season. I would definitely recommend it. It's very, very spooky.
I almost turned that on last night, but I needed to get up early. That's one of those I knew I wouldn't go to sleep. I'd get locked in. But I have some friends tell me that one's good and like really actually scary.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. But the timing makes no sense. They put the first episode out on October 26th, and they're doing the weekly drop. So episode 2 comes out on Sunday after Halloween. I don't know why we didn't do this 2 months ago to build up to Halloween for the finale, but I digress. It's still a very, very good show. I would highly
Let's
recommend.
not digress, because that's a great segue into our all-encompassing Halloween segment, because it is Halloween. I'm glad you brought up a scary show, because we are in woeful need of things to watch tonight. If you haven't heard, my crazy dog is going crazy, and we live in a neighborhood where we have so many trick-or-treaters that if we handed out candy, we'd be shelling out like hundreds of dollars and being up, multiple hours handing out candy. And that's really fun up until a point, like when you have a puppy who goes insane when somebody's at the front door. So we're going to be hiding out from the trick-or-treaters tonight. What is a scary TV show or movie we should watch? You said Welcome to Derry is good.
It is.
I'm assuming this is the clown-based series, right?
And he's in it. Not yet.
Oh, I'd say I don't like
He's
clowns.
in it.
I don't like
He's
it.
in
Pennywise.
He's Skarsgård. He's good, man. So I do recommend that if you're into getting spooked. But have any of you guys watched Hubie Halloween? Dropped, it's like 4 years ago, something like that.
I'm familiar with it, but didn't watch it. I know what you're talking about.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb, but it's so dumb that it's almost endearing, and you just find yourself like rooting for the guy. And it's an Adam Sandler movie. They're all the exact same movie with the same characters, just plot ever so slightly changed. And it's a Halloween themed version of it. And I have watched it every single year since it has dropped. I think it came out COVID 2020. And I've watched it every single year since then, and I'm watching it again tonight because I love that stupid movie. So those are my 2 recommendations: Welcome to Derry and Stupid Hubie Halloween.
All right, fair. I'll add that to the list. Jacob, what are you watching tonight, except for the mousetraps?
All right, I will say somebody asked me what's the scariest movie earlier, and I'll go. I haven't seen it in a while, but just from my memory of like what movie scared me the most, 1408, starring John Cusack. I just remember being frightened by that movie. I know he was a ghost hunter, and he went to some hotel, and that's really all I remember. But I remember just being frightened. So go watch that and tell me if it was actually as scary as I remember it.
Did you all? So that's a good topic. Like scariest movies you watched growing up. Ernest Scared Stupid, a classic.
Don't make me do Ernest again on Happy Hour. I think I've done 3 Ernest rants this month.
Probably so. It's a classic though. When I was in middle school, lots of sleepovers and stuff. Would you all watch scary movies at sleepovers? I don't know the dynamic of guy sleepovers if it's the same, but we would watch.
If we couldn't get the R-rated channels, we'd watch scary movies.
Right. We had like a rotation of Poltergeist, the Pet Cemetery movies. I think we tried to watch it one time and it was just too scary and everybody bailed on it. But when I think of like these scary movies of my childhood, it was Pet Cemetery, probably Pet Cemetery 1, 2, and 3. and then Poltergeist and whatever the Poltergeist sequel was. I can't remember, but those were pretty freaky back then. I don't know.
We all grew up with those friends whose parents weren't maybe, I'm not gonna say they were bad parents, but they had a different style than my parents. I had a kid down the street. I was like 7 years old, and I watched it in their house. Scarred me. My parents were livid that they would even show me. I had no business watching that as a kid, but they're like, come on in here, sit down, get some popcorn. Let's just terrify you. So it wrecked me as a kid simply because of I should not have been watching it at the age I was watching it. I was down the street at a house where they just weren't as locked in as Mike and Nancy Franklin on taking care of their youth. And that haunted me for a long time, seeing it earlier than I should have.
For me, that movie was The Leprechaun, and my brother and sister made me watch it when I was 9 years old. I'm terrified. I was terrified of leprechauns. Like, I had to walk out the room. It was too scary for me. I could not handle it. And now I just looked it up. Didn't even remember that Jennifer Aniston was in it. I just remember the scary leprechaun. She was like the star of it.
I've always liked the anything that's supernatural. It doesn't scare me because then like that's not real. That thing doesn't look real at all. But like haunted house stuff, like the Amityville movies, I know those are pretty dated. Even when I was watching them as a kid, they were pretty dated. But things that could maybe actually have a chance of happening get me more than like you see the big boogeyman. It's like, well, that's dumb. That's someone in makeup. But any scary movie that's like an actual has a chance to be real, those get me more than, you know, I guess with all due respect to Jason and Michael Myers, I never really had a fear of them. But a crickety old house that might have a ghost in it, that one will get me.
Shining is my favorite of all time. I know it's not like a Halloween-y movie, but oh man, I love it so much. I like the movie Seven with Morgan Freeman, Brad Pitt.
Oh.
That one's all-timer. I'm trying to think
What's
of
in the box?
What's in the box? Yeah, awesome stuff. Have you guys seen I'm scrolling through the IMDb list because it's one of my favorite things. I love watching them, so it's hard to like keep track of all my favorites. But have you guys seen Barbarian?
Mm-mm.
That one's messed up. That one is super, super messed up with twists and turns that you just go like, whoa, I didn't know what I was signing up for, but this was not it. So if that's kind of a sneaky pick as well. I like Barbarian.
I remember
One that's not that old and it's topical. I forget the name of the movie, but the Annabelle movies actually got me a little bit. Like that wasn't just a radio bit. Those movies were pretty scary. Is that The Conjuring? Is that
that's the
Annabelle? Yes.
Yeah.
Those pack a pretty good punch if you're looking to get scared in a movie.
I
Where's
remember
the
Nightmare on Elm
Elm
Street
Street?
freaked me out as a kid.
That's a good one.
Scared me. And then I know my sister watched The Sixth Sense for the first time yesterday. I haven't gotten her reaction yet.
No spoilers.
Don't spoil it for her. Someone spoiled it for me when I saw it, and I haven't forgiven them. We got some good suggestions from the chat. TJ Wren says, Pumpkinhead destroyed my childhood and Chucky because I had a My Buddy doll. Yeah, that's a good one. Alan Kane, The Exorcist. Aether, also another Chucky vote. Alan Kane, also scared by Poltergeist. It was a very scary movie. Poltergeist is Holly Sailors. She watched it her cousin's 10th birthday. Yeah. Twins Paranormal. I haven't heard of that one.
Holly in the chat on YouTube said Shaun of the Dead. It's got a little more comedy, a little bit of a balance.
Heard of that.
That's a great movie. Great call, Holly. Good submission.
Ooh, TV shows. Haunting of Hill House. Have you guys seen that one?
Yes.
Oh, that's one of the scariest things out.
Ooh, that's some good stuff right there. And the sequel, what was the sequel to that? But same actors and actresses that doing just kind of a, redo of the story. But oh man, that's some good stuff right there.
The Haunting of Hill House, for me, is probably one of the best scary things to come out in like the last decade. Because most of the stuff we've named is pretty old. That one, the sequel fell a little flat for me, but the first season, that's legit is a scary show. I would recommend that to anyone.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was like a season 1, season 2 thing, but you said it just has a sequel, Jack. So.
It's a different story with all the same actors, so and actresses.
Okay.
So it's kind of like what's that? What's the show that there's 75 seasons of it now?
The Ryan Murphy. I know what you're talking
Days
about.
of Our Lives.
No.
We could talk about
Kim
Days of Our
Kardashian
Lives,
was
though,
just in it like 2 seasons ago. There's
Keeping Up with Kardashians.
Yeah, that one. That
American
one's
Hollywood,
spooky.
American Horror
Horror
Story.
Story. American Horror Story.
Horror
Yeah,
Story.
American
Yeah,
Horror Story.
it's kind of the same thing where it's the same people, but it's totally different storylines.
I mean, if we did want to get into a Days of Our Lives discussion, I could totally do that as a faithful Days of Our Lives watcher growing up. Maybe another time. Let's see. A couple more votes for American Horror Story. Alien abduction movies. Yeah, the alien movie where the kid's legs pop backwards and he runs through the desert. I don't know what that one is. But
Sounds like something I should know as our resident alien expert.
well, we've got a lot of suggestions for things to watch tonight, but what candy are you all going for? Jack is the one with a kid here.
I'm thrilled,
candy
man.
are you taking?
Yes, I'm very, very thrilled. I'm a big sour guy, so Sour Patch Kids, sour straws, I am all the way in on that. But I think in terms of like the chocolates, we're going Twix, like the Reese pumpkins. That's obviously a hit. Snickers. So yeah, we're gonna, we're doing it up big. We're very excited to steal all of my son's candy.
Yeah, I had this on KS Board earlier today. Shout out KS Board. Not just like a power ranking of candies, but if like tiers. So the first tier would be the candy that you put aside immediately when you get all of your candy ready for trick-or-treating. That's tier 1. Tier 2, the take a piece for you, take a piece for me, like the candy that you like, but it's not necessarily the ones that you're like setting aside. Tier 3, the stuff you take to work as leftovers because you don't really want it around the house. And then tier 4, the last stuff left that's not going to get eaten, but it sits around for a while, or you just automatically like throw it out. So maybe we start with tier 4. What's the most disgusting Halloween candy to you guys?
I can't believe they make licorice, and anyone that pretends to like it, you're lying.
I'm not a big licorice fan.
I mean, that's not even tier 4. That's like, let's just acknowledge that no one likes that, and anyone that says they do, they're lying. They're trying to get attention. Licorice should be its own tier. So I just want to get that one out of the way. No one likes licorice unless one of you would like to lie and speak up and say you like it. Jacob, I'm looking in your eyes. That's why you have mice, by the way. Because you eat licorice. That's why.
I got nothing against licorice. My grandparents used to always have it at their house. Hey, man.
Therefore, it's cool.
You're not tier 1, but
Okay. Well, let me like. What are you eating? Like the Twizzler? Like what? How do you even consume licorice?
My grandparents used the small black licorice ones, man.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry, Jacob. I'm sorry.
No, they suck. Jacob, you deserve to be bullied for this.
And I see a comment that says, "Drew, you used to love Jaeger." Same damn thing. Jaeger and licorice.
Did anyone
Actually, a
really
good
love
point.
Jaeger, or did you just?
It's a good point.
Like, no one really loves the taste of Jaeger.
I've had Jaeger this month. I can't. I'm sorry.
Oh my, Drew,
I
you're
don't like
40 years old.
I put
Well,
Twizzlers in my tier 2.
I have good reason. My guy Manny was a Jaeger drinker, so
Okay,
I've had
that's
more
fair.
Jaeger than I wanted to in the last month. But I'll acknowledge no one should be drinking Jaeger. Had to
Cheers,
force
man.
that one down. But no, Jaeger, licorice, that flavor, you name it. People are lying to themselves. And Jacob, I love you. You're my friend. I hate that you're going through this with the mice, but I feel like you don't really love it when you eat it, right? It's just an act.
They weren't tier 1 for me, but they're far from tier 4. They're
Far from tier 4.
firmly in tier 2 for me.
I'll shut up.
Man, I mean, just some other things I would put in tier 4. I think they're called peanut butter kisses, but I wouldn't have known that until the other day when I put them on KS Board. The little wrapped candies and the orange and black wrappers they're just so nondescript. I don't think I've ever had them because they look so unappetizing in those wrappers. I didn't even know they were peanut butter.
It's just a rite of passage for grandparents. Like once you become a grandparent, you don't buy them; they just show up in your purse, and you're like, "Whoa, well, I guess I'm old." So yeah, not a fan.
My dad loves those, and last year he drove all over Lexington looking for them, and he called me. He's like, "Drew, can you believe no one carries these?" And I was like, "Dad, I love you. I can believe that. In fact, I can't believe you're looking for them." But that's like his treat. I even found them. I was out of town on vacation. They had like an old time candy store, and they had some. It's like, well, I guess I got to take a few home for the old man because I guess my dad is one of one that eats those little taffy. What do you even call it? That they're not labeled. There's not a logo. It's like, here's just generic orange wrapped, terrible tasting candy.
Yeah, no thanks. McDouble with pickles says his bottom tier is Whoppers.
1,000.
I would agree with that. He says, what the heck even is a malted milk ball? It sounds like something from the 1920s. I had them in my tier 4 too. Yeah, both Milk Duds and Whoppers. No, thank you.
Milk Duds are just so they're so time consuming, man. Like you chew them and it just they stay in your teeth. I don't mind the taste of them, but it's such a chore to eat that I'm like, yeah, definitely not worth it. So they're like more tier 3.
You guys are gonna hate me. They're tier 1 for me, Milk Duds. So
you are a weirdo, dude.
Let's just move to tier 1. Jacob's ready to move to tier 1.
I'm sorry.
What other weird candies?
Hold on. I think you're both right on Milk Duds. They taste good, but it's a chore. I used to get them at the movie theater, and the movie ends, and you're on like your 4th one because you're still chewing from the one you started during the previews. If they can just dial in how long it takes to finish a Milk Dud, I feel like they've got something.
Some people like Jack just aren't built for it, but you really gotta. It takes effort to be a Milk Dud enjoyer.
Fair enough.
What a treat! It takes work. You gotta earn it. No, you don't.
Now I just want to
Jacob,
look
you should
up.
put a Milk Dud on a mouse trap and see how long it'll take. 2 months for that mouse to even get through it to get snapped.
That would be funny. All right. So what are everybody's like top 2 candies in tier 1? So the things you're putting aside, mine, I 100% bite-sized Snickers, putting those aside along with the Reese's Pieces. Not the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, which is also good, but the Reese's Pieces. Those are my top 2.
Sour Patch Kids and hot tamales.
Really?
Big hot tamale guy. I love hot tamales. Yeah.
Drew, what about you?
I'm surprised by that take. I'll eat a hot tamale, but
They're
Jack,
good.
sounds like you need to be out shopping with my dad. He likes hot tamales and those little black and orange, no logo, no branding, no nutrition facts, those things.
My other favorite
like an old
is
person thing.
the cookie dough bites. Though those are top tier for me. So I think those are my 3 favorite candies right there.
That's fair.
I like
Do
all
you
the
really?
favorites. Reese's. Tyler, your list is pretty much my list. My last 3 years, though, I've given out Gushers.
Ooh.
Mainly just because I bought them for me and I miss Gushers, and I intentionally overbought. And then November and December, I'm eating Gushers for breakfast. I didn't do it this year, but that's what I handed out the last few years. Because as much as I love chocolate, I think I prefer a little bit of the fruity, maybe a little Sour Patch Kids. I lean that direction.
All right. So Jacob is Whoppers, or no, Milk Duds and
Licorice.
okay. Milk Duds and licorice.
If I'm going top 2, I gotta go Snickers and Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
All right, you're back to being a normal person. I'm glad.
I do like Reese's Pieces, but I feel like by the time I'm at the end of the bag, it does not taste anywhere near as good as the first bite.
And your hand looks insane because all the stuff is melted off on it. That's one downfall of the Reese's Pieces.
At the pace Jacob was on with licorice and Whoppers, I thought you were going to say Mr. Goodbar and Mike and Ike and Three Musketeers.
You're going to hate me. Mr. Goodbar is also my tier 1.
End the show. It's over.
I love it.
But not
All
Whoppers.
right.
Whoppers are in my tier 4. I don't like Whoppers.
Got it. It is known and so it is said. Let's move on to some KS4 questions so we can get out of here and Jack can go trick-or-treating. All right. For Love of the Game says, what's the best Halloween song and why is it Feed My Frankenstein by Alice Cooper? I have not heard that song, or maybe it just doesn't register by the title. I actually watched the Today Show this morning and they did like a bracket of Halloween songs. Number 1 was pretty obvious. It was Thriller by Michael Jackson. So I'm going to go with that as the obvious one, the slam dunk. Jacob, what's your equivalent of your candy take for your Halloween music take?
Thriller was like the only song I could even think of. I don't even know Halloween songs. That's a good question.
I'm struggling too.
Okay. Has anybody heard of Feed My Frankenstein by Alice Cooper? I'd play it, but I'm scared we'd get a copyright infringement.
It doesn't really have a name and it's not like a radio song, but when I think of Halloween music, it's the Halloween theme with the piano.
That's a good one.
That and Monster Mash would be another one. But
Monster
I can't really think of any
Classic. And then This Is Halloween from Jack Skellington or whatever, the Nightmare Before Christmas. I think that's the layup. Got to go for the brand. Got to go Werewolves of London.
Ah,
There you go.
That fits. I'm going through the Apple Music Halloween essentials. We got Superstition by Stevie Wonder is on the list. That's I
feel like
didn't know that was,
consider that a Halloween song.
but it's on the Halloween essentials list. So I think we got to go with our guy Stevie.
Yeah. The Today Show, I remember they had some weird picks. I mean, granted, they had to come up with enough for a bracket. They had Toxic by Britney Spears. Doesn't seem like a Halloween Christmas or a Halloween song to me.
Why is that Halloween?
I don't know. Toxic.
Yeah. Bad Moon Rising, I guess, is. I didn't know that was a Halloween song, but I like that song.
The Hocus Pocus song was another one. I forget the name of it. I can see that at least.
Dracula's Wedding by Outkast.
What?
A little Andre 3000 action.
I love a little Andre 3 Stacks, but I feel like we're reaching on all of these.
A Nightmare on My Street by DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince.
What?
Anybody?
No one listens to Fresh Prince and DJ Jazzy Jeff.
You're missing out.
I kind of want to now.
Hocus Pocus was a good addition. When we were doing movies earlier, that's one I've already done it this season. It's not Christmas Vacation level, but it's one that you can just kind of turn on while you're doing chores.
Yeah.
It's one of the classics that you have to watch at least once in the holiday season. Get on your vacuum cleaner.
Alan Kane brought up the Ghostbusters song. That's a good one. The
Definitely.
Addams Family theme song. I could see that. I mean, these are all good. Like you're, having trick-or-treaters. You want something on in the background. But I'm going to have to listen to Feed My Frankenstein by Alice Cooper and let y'all know what I think. But what's our next question? This is Steven, you got to get on the audio and talk about this. So Richmond asked, why do you like teams that hurt you?
I like that it says to Steven.
Yeah. So my Dolphins are 2-7. Kentucky is 2-6. Murray State is 0-7. That's 4 in 20. And Kentucky beats number 1 Purdue only to lose to Georgetown by 14. And I know it's an exhibition game. I'm trying not to get too worked up. I get it. But we can't, why as a fan base, we can't just stay riding high. Lately, we just consistently get humbled right after we start to really believe again. I know it's an exhibition game. I know. But it was last year, we beat Duke and then we lose to Clemson. We come back from down 18 to Gonzaga. We lose to Ohio State by 20. We beat Florida. We lose to Georgia. We beat Mississippi State in the thriller. Lose to Vanderbilt. Beat Tennessee without a point guard. Lose to Arkansas at home. It's just snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap. I think I'm too much all in on sports. I need to find other things outside of sports to find happiness in, or other things to get passionate about. Like astronomy seems fun. I might try to learn a new instrument. I have a recorder from middle school. I never really learned how to play. I've always wanted to be able to juggle. So
Jasper Johnson can juggle. That kind of combines your two worlds.
There you go. If I could do any of these things, or can you guys just tell me why I should still have national championship expectations for this year's basketball team?
Well, the season hasn't really started yet.
That's a good point, actually.
They have not lost.
Undefeated.
Yeah. I think I saw on KS board that you said you've never flown a kite. You could try kite flying.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that sounds fun and wholesome. Kentucky volleyball plays this weekend. You can cheer for them. They seem to do pretty well.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Steven, I'm actually surprised you didn't. I'm surprised. Jacob sent me a text and I laughed, and now I can't. I can't even remember what I said. The 2014-15 team lost its exhibition game and went on to win 38 games all the way up to the Final Four. The 02-03 team lost its exhibition game and became a number 1 seed. And Mark Pope's own 96 team ended up winning a national championship after starting off with an exhibition loss. So I feel like you of all people should have been rooting for a loss with your big brain obsession with 1 seeds leading to national championships. I feel like it's just a part of the script to get to our end destination. So you should just be excited about the result.
That's true. That's true. I don't know how many national champions have October losses, but that is kind of weird though, that all those teams, lost exhibition games.
Steven, just say those teams out loud. 96, 03, 2015. I mean, those are on the Mount Rushmore, and they all lost their last preseason exhibition game.
I mean, all right. I'm back in. I was back in. I talked myself.
I'm all the way back in.
Really had to twist your arm there, buddy.
I know. I'd already talked myself into it by the time the show started. I'd already tried to get over that loss. So I was listening to you guys break it down a little bit earlier. You know, it's a preseason game. Jasper Johnson won't shoot 1 for 6 again, and our best shooters won't go 3 for 21 again. If we just would have shot 23% from 3 in the second half.
Jacob, what are you doing?
No, what is going on?
What are
Is this the Blair Witch Project? What are we doing?
He's jogging? Oh, no. Oh, wow.
Did he see him
I
now?
love when we go off the rails. By the way, I haven't even opened my beer yet. Let's get real off the rails.
Oh,
Are you okay?
What are you doing?
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
The mice? Are you chasing?
What happened?
Where are you
tell
now?
us.
I forgot to do something.
We see that.
dude.
Just tell us about it.
Oh, sorry.
Where are you?
Don't leave us with a mystery. Are you okay? Do we need to call the cops?
All right, we're gonna find these mice.
The mice are evolving and they're breaking into his car.
No traps. No,
All right.
they haven't been caught yet. We're gonna find them.
Oh my God.
I love this.
Hey guys, take a deep breath. All right, everybody, relax. Everybody needs to calm down right now.
This is why we happy hour. This is,
Oh my God, this is
also,
amazing.
Alan Kane, I see your comment. Look at his hat, LOL. I'm also laughing. Why is the bill of your hat like?
This is Rivals. All right, did you guys hear about the deal that happened? It's on 3 and Rivals. It's the same thing now. God, you guys are so behind. How did you not hear about this?
Western Robinson plot twist. This is not his house.
Where am I?
Oh, this is my favorite thing. to
Jack,
do.
are you sure you want to go trick or treating? We can do another hour. We're just getting started, bro.
I'm crying.
All right, we're dealing with it. We're figuring it out. All right.
What the hell?
My God.
We're dealing with it. All right, we're figuring it out. Everybody, calm down.
All right, walk us through what you're looking at. What's the main area? Where are they really bothering you?
All right,
I feel
all
like
right,
the
all right.
collective. And hold
So
on, hang on before you go. This isn't just Drew. This isn't Tyler. This isn't Jack's. Not Steven. This is Holly. This is McDouble with Pickles. Eric, Richard. The collective KSR will help you
Crash.
right now. But you have to show us what you're dealing with. So
You're
please.
telling me we've been live this whole time? Oh my God.
They're watching us.
All right,
Okay,
we're gonna
who's
figure it out.
watching us?
Show us. Show us.
All
Where are
right.
the mice?
Mice.
Show us. We're gonna
Okay.
figure it out.
Welcome to my home, everybody.
Thank you.
So first off, we took out the shelves because we needed to get up in the attic. All right, so we have all the stuff. All right, we got a trap here.
Okay.
We got a trap here. We got a trap here. There's a lot of mice poop. Okay. Drew, relax. All right, we got a mice trap there. Okay.
This
Oh.
is amazing.
Okay. We
How
got
many
traps.
mice-
We
Jake,
got
how
traps
many
over
mice
here.
it is?
They haven't caught anything. We're not in good shape right now.
This is
Okay.
horror movie.
How many
Your
mice
traps,
we
your
talking
traps
about?
are like Kentucky basketball in the second half last night. You're looking at about
I'm
0 for
gonna find
13 so
you!
far.
No stops. No stops.
Oh my God. Okay. So looking at these traps, I've come to the conclusion that none of the mice have been caught. This is the mice's house now. I don't belong here.
Oh, I love it.
Drew, calm down.
Where's Atticus?
Oh my God. I didn't even think about that.
This
I
is
don't
what
think we
Country
can
Boy pays
stop.
for. This is what they sponsor.
Oh God. All right. All right. We'll figure this out. I don't know if I should show you guys behind the fridge, but there's a lot of mice poop there. Yeah.
I think we're probably good.
Yeah, no, you guys just take my word. I'm not lying. I promise.
I don't think we can top this, you all. We might just have to wrap it.
The bill of his hat, for some reason, just adds so much of it to me. I understand. I know about the merger. I heard about the merger.
Oh wait, no, Joe.
Oh my god!
We're good.
What?
No.
What?
Yeah.
Plot twist!
Bet you guys didn't see that coming.
I did not. I did not.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
gotta leave it there because I don't think that we're gonna top that.
Subscribe to KSR Plus.
Grab the KSR Plus so Jacob can get rid of these mics.
I think you just got to cut it, Steven.
Happy
I
Halloween,
think
guys.
so.